You know, I often get asked how I obtain my vast knowledge for everything ever. Well, you see, I meditate and become one with the earth with my Buddha chi and reach enlightenment every week. Not too unlike the power system in Bleach. Also, that's what we're going to be reviewing today, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. Firstly, we gotta get the lay of the land. There are two characters we gotta get to know first. First is Ichibum. Nah, I'm just kidding. I know who it is. I know it's Ichigo Sasuke. He's the strawberry man with the heart of gold and a red hot soul. Like a strawberry. He's a rebellious high school guy, and when he goes to beat up a group of high schoolers that were picking on him, he goes, "Call the ambulance, but not for me." And then he goes, "Wachow!" on them. Now it's time to get into the bitches. Firstly, there's his leak-wielding girlfriend, the original leak wielder, not Miku. Fuck you, Miku. Get the fuck out of here. You're only liked by the bisexuals. And they're the most ignored part of the LGBT. Fuck you, Miku. She likes eating food, and then all the food goes into her titties. How is that possible? Because the Japanese people fucking hate drawing a waistline over 50 centimeters long. Either way, she loves eating out her boyfriend. Like a strawberry. I'm saying she leaves the rim of his anus bright red after she's done with him because that's how hard she licks the rim of his asshole. And then there's the black-haired one. Well, I guess she kind of looks like a cat first and foremost. Either way, she's what kicks off the show. She warns Ichigo that the fat girl's gonna die. But then she gets hit by a car, but doesn't die? That's because Ichigo and Tist McGee are soul survivors. That means they are destined to take down the evil Soliers. So Ichigo, Small Girl, and Titties go off and start taking down the Soliers while learning more about their newly found powers. Later on in the series, they meet up with a wacky crew of characters like actually non-racist black woman in an anime, Green Jigen, Sleepy Man. So with their powers combined, the second half of Bleach is taking down the bad guys known as the Soul Society in the Great Soul Arc. Now at first Ichigo tries to take them on but gets his ass kicked. He ain't posting that shit online. So he has to go off and train his powers so that he can get stronger. But how did the powers in Bleach work exactly, you might ask? Well, first Ichigo learns from the Green Man, who's the only guy who really has a full grasp on how the power system in the show works. But also, he, really doesn't give a fuck. At all. So, anime exposition is not his thing. But it's actually very simple. You just have to grasp onto your knowledge of Buddhism and use the power of Buddha to Buddha their enemies to death. Because if there's one thing Buddha stands for, it's violence. Meanwhile, the bad guys, they're using their power of Christianity to fight the good guys. But that's okay, because luckily for Ichigo, the power of Buddhism grants him the aesthetic of a teenager at Hot Topic. And yeah, he does a slash so big, it looks like giant ink splatter across the page. Oh yeah, that's another thing I should also mention when I have to talk about the series. The author himself, I think his name is Kubo, so let's go with that. You see, he's rather infamous for his time-saving techniques for his manga pages, such as splashing a whole bottle of ink on a page and saying it's a humongo attack, or the heart. Many have come into thinking he's lazy, or a hack, and even still stand by this to this day. I'm here to say I'm actually completely okay with this. With my vast amount of knowledge comes with the heavy cost of knowing the dark underbelly of the manga industry. Mangaka are so immensely overworked to get their series out to actually make a living because the profits they make are dirt poor if you're not a superstar artist. Even then, you have to work your ass off to get popular, and you have to keep on working or else Shoujo Jump and other publications will cancel you. So yeah, saving a couple hours to actually spend time with your family and actually live healthily is completely understandable. All that being said though, despite his numerous shortcuts, the anime was still able to catch up with him and they ran out of material to adapt. So, to make up for lost time, there's just loads of filler. Filler up to the brim. We got filler upon filler episodes. Filler in filler. So much fucking filler, it's coming out of my mouth. Either way, what happens next? Oh yeah, the black-haired girl turns out to be evil. So Ichigo gets stabbed. But with the power of Buddha, he revives himself. So they have an epic final showdown. And then Ichigo wins and gets the big titty waifu. We won, titty bros. Or at least that's what I think happens. I don't know. I've never watched Bleach.